Yeah. Small one. VaYetzai Ya'akov meBe'er Sheva. So Rashi that a tzaddik leaves a place, three things go: ziva, hoida, v'hadora. And the Shiva points out that ziva and hoida are things that the person gives over to the community. Now the tzaddik gives over. The ziva is like the rays of the sun. So that's something that the sun gives us. The thing that we get a benefit from the sun. The other hoida, it says also by Moshe Rabbeinu, when the Rebbeinu Shalom told him to go make the Sanhedrin, so he told them, and by them I think he says it also by Yeshua, and you'll put mahoidcha olav, you'll give him part of your hoid. Now that's covered as something that you're able to give over by the fact that you're putting your hand on him or whatever it is, that's going to somehow give him, enhance him to be able to be somebody. And then there's something that's nice, it's beautiful. So therefore, that's something that it's, you're not giving anything, except that we enjoy it. So therefore, that's the third one. That's Hadorah. That's Hador. Those are the three things. And it seems to be a tzaddik can do this. And it bothered me because l'chayre you still had Rivka and Yitzchak living there, right? So if you're going in the madrigas of Tzidkis, I guess they would consider the tzaddikim. He's a youngster. So like, what are you? He's not in the parsha. He doesn't fit. He's not equal to them. He's a good kid. He's a nice guy. Wonderful. How many people know about him? I know everyone goes to Yitzchak and then what do you call it? They don't go to him. And again, if you wanted to really to bring it out, maybe you should have mentioned it in Parshas Vayera when Avram leaves Eretz. It says over there, Vayoga Avram be'eretz Plishtim Yom Rabim. You should have said he left Eretz Plishtim after Yom Rabim or something. You would have the same lesson from Avram. Why would you need to take it from Yaakov? So the fact that he picks Yaakov and not Avram, and not what he is, first of all, the Godel Ador, whatever influence he has, that remains. In other words, as was proven the Afi Haemes, that Avram, the Mavram Taki, that when he went back after the Akedah, he goes back to Beersheba. Why did he go back to Beersheba? He wanted to see whatever happened to Beersheba, and he found out that they were still with Beersheba. It wasn't else Plishtim. So therefore, he saw that it was a big, that he does, his influence did last. Many 25 years later, 26 years later, and it's still lasting. So therefore, that was an important thing. But what are we talking about here? We're talking about the small tzaddik. Like the big tzaddik, like I said, that influence lasts. But there's a small guy, and this should be everybody. This is not only meaning a tzaddik. It means every person, really. This chiv is for. Like, think about it. That sometimes you daven in a minyan, and you daven next to a guy who never said a word to you, but he davens a good davening. He davens like he means it and stuff like that. And all of a sudden he moves out of the neighborhood, and you're still davening in the shul, and you say, there's something missing. What's missing? Nothing's missing to me. I'm davening the same thing. Oh, that guy that used to stand over here and I never spoke to, but he affected me. And the way he was davening made me daven different davening and stuff like that. That's what he saw. So therefore, that everybody can be. That's not a thing. That's telling you a chiyuv on us, not at your point that Yaakov did it. That every guy who wants to be a tzaddik got to have that much at least that you make a difference by your being there. Anyway, so. it's a strange thing. I think like this. I had this experience once. That's why the Russian even. I knew a guy. I'm going back many, many years ago. 60, 70 years ago, something like that. A guy got married, and he was living in Eretz Yisrael. He told me he ate meat once a week, chicken. So for Shabbos, he was married. That's all he was able to afford. He came back to America now to be a balabos, so he wanted to have carpeted floors. Now, carpeted floors was a thing that was a big luxury. Well, we didn't know that wooden floors are the big luxury. But at that time, we thought carpeted floors was the big luxury. So therefore, they didn't have any carpeted floors. He wanted carpeted floors. And I asked him why. He said, you want anything? He says, I'm going to be a balabos. I'm going to live like a balabos. I mean, it's a different lifestyle now. Anything though. Yaakov Avinu had that idea too. I can give it to you more. I don't know if there's any families like this anymore, but I'm sure there is. Like the mother and father are watching television, and the yeshiva bacher comes down. He wants to sit down and pull up a chair too. And they tell him, no, that's not for you. You can't watch television. And he says, why not? Because you're in yeshiva, you're a yeshiva bacher. But we're balabat and we can watch television. Okay, but fine. Okay, so I'm using that same emotion to understand it clearer. I mean, that this thing, I'm in yeshiva. In yeshiva, there is no gashmis. In yeshiva, you don't sleep. That's the way you live in yeshiva. That's why she says, Yolan Shom, why did he say he slept there? Because till there he didn't sleep. And stuff. But now I'm a balabos. A balabos can go to sleep. It's no big deal. No other thing about it. And I thought I added just a little bit because the marshal was he first went to Haran, and then he comes back. In other words, he thought I passed the place where my parents davened, and I didn't daven there. Well, you're not dumb. And you know that the trip is not a short trip. So you're going to pass over there, you don't stop off for Stace to Markup. Right? Me? I got to go to a shul. I'm a yeshiva bacher. I daven in a base medrash. First Stace to Markup. I don't daven in a shul. I'm not in a basic Knesset guy. Right? So he goes, so I'm going to Haran, I'll be a terrific in Haran myself. Takes a look at Haran, all of a sudden he got sick. He says, I better go back and daven in a shul. And the stuff over there, and the thing doesn't to straighten itself out. That's what I think happened. And he came back and he went to sleep there because till then he didn't sleep. So again, it can't be because the Gemara in Durham says that if a guy makes a neder that he won't sleep for 3 days, we give him malchus right away. We don't even wait for 3 days. Why? Because it's an impossibility. If Yaakov can be for 14 years, I can be for 3 days. Okay, so obviously it doesn't mean that Yaakov also was not for 3 days. So it's impossible for a human being to be able to be like that. So what does it mean? It means that he didn't go to sleep. In other words, he didn't go to a bed. So he kept trembling by the seat. In other words, and then wakes himself up, learns a few minutes longer, falls asleep again, a few minutes longer, a few minutes later. I don't know how much learning you can do that way. I mean, if you ask me, it sounds that you're all going to be half asleep the whole time. 14 years of half asleep is nothing, there's no yichus either. So, but the idea is, I don't live in a Gashmius world. That was the point. No, I don't give in to sleep. And you'll ask me how this is possible. I mean, they do this. I mean, something. You guys don't remember this, so don't think this. There used to be in the Second World War. There was dance-a-thons, or something like that. They used to have how long you can keep dancing, how many days you can keep dancing, how many days you can keep dancing. You fall asleep and anything. you fall asleep. You fall asleep on each other's shoulders, but you keep standing on your feet the whole time. And then there was the guys who used to sit on the flagpole. There's records of the sitting on a flagpole for days and days. How do you sleep on a flagpole? You'll fall off. So you put your hands around the flagpole and you make sure that you don't let go, right? But I fall asleep in the middle. Well, you're right, but if you fall asleep, but you're still not letting go. I mean, this thing over there. So there's the mishigasin that people did, but the idea is that it can be done that with minutes to keep you going for hours. That was there, but the effectiveness should not have been good. But it can be, I guess, you'll see by soldiers they're taught to be able to use a few minutes of rest to be able to go back into battle and stuff like that. So I guess you could say the tumla itself maybe makes you accept that there is, they always had the kasha on the goyin. The goyin slept 2 hours a day in 4 hour segments, in 4 half hours. And he slept this is his lifetime. So how do you do that? I mean, he shouldn't have been able to do it. Levos, I think that the Torah was such an adrenaline to him, even so much adrenaline, he couldn't sleep. So in other words, they used to say a joke, is what's the sotmu f'neinu ma'acharenu? What's ma'acharenu by the goyin? So the goyin would have been that the sotmu would have made him learn 24 hours in a row, and therefore he would fall asleep, and then he wouldn't be able to learn. So therefore, that's the sotmu f'neinu ma'acharenu. Okay, so it's something like that. So obviously, there is a thing that the excitement of the thing itself keeps you up. When a person gets excited about something, he's going to be up. That's the adrenaline keeping him up. But the adrenaline, after a while, it gets used up, whatever it is there. He's got a thing there. So this is what took place. And he took me Avna Amokim. He took me Avna Amokim there to fall asleep. That's one to sleep on, and the rest to protect them from animals. Whatever it is, I don't know exactly how it protects the animal so you can climb over the stones. I don't know what it means, but whatever it means. Okay, so what did the stones do? She says that because they took the one stone afterwards, says there because all 12 stones became one stone. That's all the stones were to fight. So the kasha is, even if they all become one stone, he still has only going to be in one place. Right? So what difference does it make? Right? It's not going to be one stone. It's not going to be on me. So you see that there's somehow being part of something is eichet agreisach. In other words, like not only do I have to be exclusive, but I'm part of something, even though I don't get the full, what do you call it, eichet something enough to satisfy the general thing. And then there was a political joke that existed, and it was now just slow really. But it's, I guess, everywhere you have it. Like if the Beisha made already one stone, he could have made it a pillow already. Why do you have to leave it as a stone? I mean, a stone is still hard to sleep on, so they're going anything doesn't do. So they said, once there's a machlekes, once they were separate, and you want to bring them together, you can bring them in to be a stone, but you can't bring them in and make it a pillow. Once they were separate, you can't bring it back together again. I'm not going to say it might be what parties that was negated to, but it was anyway, but it said about parties. Okay. And he slept in that place. And he has this dream, which l'chayre is a backward dream. So Rashi brings down the feet of the ladder was in Beersheba. And the top of the ladder was in VaYetzai. And when he crosses over, the place, the thing there'll be over Yerushalayim will be the Shar Shemayim. We'll see the high point or whatever it is you want to see. The Chayre, he's going north. He's not going south. So he's going from Beersheba to the north. So if the letter, if they're talking about the malachim that Oidlam v'Yodam by are going to be the Malachim of Chutz La'aretz and Malachim of Eretz Yisrael, then they should have been in the north, the feet. Right? The top should have been here. The feet is in the north. That's because they're going down before they go into Eretz Yisrael. They're going up before they leave, they go Chutz La'aretz, and they come down before they get into Chutz La'aretz. So I said, so you see from here, that doesn't work that simple. That a person, Malachim even, need a madrege. You can't go from one extreme to another extreme without having a Beit-Shren's effect. So therefore, if you want to go from Shemayim, from the Kedusha of Shemayim to Kedusha to Chulm of Chutz La'aretz, you have to at least walk through Eretz Yisrael before you can get to Chutz La'aretz. Therefore you go off in the south and you have to walk Eretz Yisrael till the complete north, and therefore it's a lesser Kedusha. Now you can go into Chutz La'aretz. And when you're coming up to go upstairs, you're coming in from Chutz La'aretz, you have to walk through Eretz Yisrael to Be'er Sheva, then you can first go up on the ladder. And it's stuff like that, because there has to be getting used to this world. I said it, the Nafkimine, the union of davening, there's a Rashi in Pirkei Avos, where it says that Olam Hazeh is a prusda to Olam Haba. So the Rabbeinu Yonah translates simply that in Olam Hazeh you earn your entry fee to Olam Haba. The Rashi doesn't say that. Rashi says the prusda is the room where you dust yourself off, you clean your clothes, you straighten out your beard, and they have to go into. So in other words, you're going into whatever you did in the prusda, you go with that into Olam Haba. As opposed to the Rabbeinu Yonah, I don't bring anything into Olam Haba. It's just my entry fee. In other words, I do my mitzvahs here, but I don't take anything with me. There's nothing there. There's the schar I get there, but I don't take that anymore. So why did he pick such a strange pshat? That didn't make sense to me. So I said, this is what it means. You go, Fram mentioned that you have in shul, there's a chazan today, another 20 minutes. What am I going to do? I go crazy there. No, it's something with that. You have another guy, what do you call it, about mitzvah nochechet. No, you can do it. It's okay. So he tells you, Olam Haba is ruchnius. If you don't get used to ruchnius, in this world is a gashmius. You're going to come up to ruchnius, you're going to sit there all day davening. What are you, nuts? I'll go crazy with another half hour of davening. This is going to be Olam Haba. This is Gehenna for me. He says, if you don't want it to be Gehenna, you get used to it in this world. Enjoy the extra 15 minutes with God in this world. Enjoy it, then you come to Olam Haba and you give you the whole day like that. This is going to be mamish Olam Haba. That's what it means over this. That's what he's talking about. Okay. And the Beinishim says, then we'll get before what this whole purpose is in a minute, because Vayemani Hashem Elokei Avram Avicha Elokei Yitzchak. So he uses the word Elokei for Avram, and he uses it for Yitzchak. Now, Avram, we know there's such a concept, because at the end of Lech Lecha, it says over there, which is that Yesod, that even though God is a Metzias, in other words, God is God. It has nothing to do with being my God. It's God is God. But then there's also a concept of being my God. So it says Avram Avinu was 99 years old. He's an Eved Hashem for all the years. Right? And he is brisi beni venecha ben zaracha achrecha lias l'doreisam b'risaylam lias l'chol elokim u'zarecha achrecha. I'll be your God and I'll be their God. That means to God now, you weren't my God yet. But you were God. There was no question about it. You're God. God is a Metzias. My God is a different relationship. That's between me and God and everything. You want to be my God, there's different relationship. What is the relationship? Is the Mila, which automatically is Halach Lefona V'Yesomit. That's the that's the thing. Yitzchok, it doesn't say. It doesn't say what it is. I would assume that what it is something to do with the Akedah. Whether it is Yiras Hashem or Avas Hashem or something like that, Mesiras Nefesh or whatever you want to hold. But Yaakov is going to be Kaddish Hagashmi. That's what is going to be over here. And that's the kavanas that we have when we daven every day. When we say Elokeinu v'Elokei Aviseinu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, does not mean identification. Because if it meant identification, it should have said Elokeinu v'Elokei Aviseinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. That you identified them. I say Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. That's a new commitment that I'm making. So the Elokeinu v'Elokei Aviseinu, I would think, is in Sisavai. That is that Hashem Emalta Yom Yisrochel Elokim. In other words, you chose God to the way, which is the Kabbalah Satera and everything else we accepted for us and for our forefathers. But then we have Hashkafas that are different. It's Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Avram, which is Halach Lefonai. You have to teach your children to live a different type of lifestyle, to be Machshiv Torah. In other words, because it's not going to have a kiyum if we're just going to tell you, be orthodox, be frum. Now, everybody was taught that. Now come everyone became frei, because it became contradictory to the way lifestyle that I want to live. So you have to teach me somehow that the lifestyle that I want to teach you is more choshuv than the lifestyle over there. So therefore it's better, finishing Masechta is better than the state championships and stuff like that. Then you'll do it. So therefore that would be one thing. That's Elokei Avram. Elokei Yitzchak, I guess, will be Avas Hashem, which means to the biggest extent, then would be Mesiras Nefesh, maybe how much requirement you have, you need that much also, but we are mechuyev to do it, either also giving mitzvahs, so there's a time, like the Hashmonaim, that there's a time that even though there's no mitzvah, they didn't do anything to stop, otherwise why did they wait so long to die? All of us, there was no law against that they had to do Avodah Zarah. That was that the Jewish guys wanted to make them do Avodah Zarah, but the Greeks didn't make a difference. As long as you don't do your Torah, didn't bother them. So therefore, there was no Avodah Zarah, there's no Harayas and no Shechas Domim that they were forced to do. The rest of the thing, not to live like a Jew, so big deal, so I want to live like a Jew. But I don't want to not live like a Jew. That was what the Hashmonaim did. I don't want to live not like a Jew. I want to live like a Jew. That's Rabbi Akiva, whatever it is, the point of Rabbi Akiva, when he was learning Torah Barabim. So Papa's Ben Yehuda asked him, why'd you do that? He says, so he gives him a story with a fish, that the fox told the fish to come up in the ground. Say, in other words, I'm a fish out of water. I can't live without Torah. I can't live without Torah. It's torture. That's not life. That's torture. So therefore, the same thing. So I don't want to, for that there is such a thing. So you won't name it, that's maybe what Yitzchak imposed on us, that we've done it. We find that by the Chub, Beis HaMikdash, when the boys and girls jumped off the boat to drown themselves, when they were going to be taken to be Zionists and stuff like that. In other words, that was something like that. You had the story with the Beis Yaakov girls in the Second World War, if it's true or not, there's some test to it that it's true, so that they commit suicide for that. And there's things like that. So obviously, there is a time, so that's Yitzchak. And Yaakov is the Kaddish, the Gashmi, and that's what we're going to see how that happened. And he guarantees us that he'll take care of us and everything else. Like Ayira, Vayikat Yaakov Mishnasa. So Yaakov woke up from his sleep, and he says, God was here and I didn't know. So you should be scared stiff to go back to sleep. Vayashkem Yaakov Babayke. Yaakov got up in the morning. If Yaakov got up in the morning, he went back to sleep. If he didn't go back to sleep, you don't get up in the morning. He was up already. So that's the thing. So what wakens? So what Pshat is, he understood that the Rebbeinu Shalom's teaching him a lesson. You made a nest that I fell asleep over here. In other words, what do you mean that the Rebbeinu Shalom, it was Kvitzas HaDerech, but it got dark also. So it got dark also, so therefore he was time to go to sleep. And there's the thing, so when he went to sleep, then the Rebbeinu Shalom made him sleep on Mokum HaMikdash. So he understood that what the Rebbeinu Shalom teaching me? He's teaching me there's no such thing as being in yeshiva, not in yeshiva. You live a life, you're living in this world. In this world, your job is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you have to have power, you have to have keach to be able to do that. And that keach comes to eating and to sleeping and to everything else there. It has to be with a cheshbon. Now, in the instant you would think this is an easy thing. I think he's telling him a much harder thing. Let's say, for instance, this I think most people, everyone had to be on a diet for health reasons, for whatever reasons, is this. So to fast, I could do that. You know, it's hard. You know, you got to be hungry, but I can do it. So not to tea on 1,000-calorie diet, that's very hard. That I can't eat. I want to take noch a bite. Noch a bite, what's not a bite? Noch a puff on the cigarette, noch a this. That's the hard part. And therefore, that's what he's telling you. That's what you want to live, you gashmis, but only so much, not more. That's a harder lifetime. So now it's not making it easier for us, he made it harder for us. But at the same token, he wants us to have anoya from Eilam Hazeh and to use Eilam Hazeh, not to say the point of anoya, but he gave things to be anoya, and the things are not, because that's also a gift that he gave to us, that we enjoy what we need to have. We have to eat, we eat not because we want to eat, some say, we're eating because you have to have strength, right? But I like the way the food tastes also. So there's also that's a matnas l'kim. And for that I make a bracha to her, that thing, that to honest by b'nei yodam. The Rebbeinu Shalom does these things for us. Okay, so so now he's faced with this thing. So he makes a neder, Yaakov. He says, "Im yeh shel kimi modi v'shmani b'derech hazel, take care of me. V'nosei lechem lecha beged lubash v'shafti v'sholom zok rashi b'li chet." I'll come back without a chet. So that's what he means. He says, and then what will be, if we do this, then v'hoy Hashem li lokim. Then I'll be able to mekabel what you just asked me to do. You're showing me what you want from me. I don't know if I can do it. Because there's a big VaYetzai to be that little bit. I don't know if I can live that way. But if I'll go through this next period of life, and I can do it, and I come back to Lichet, I was able to live like that, then I'll be mekabel upon myself to do it. And I guess then we got to train ourselves to become such a person, that we're able to exist with the minimums and the stuff like that. But until then, it's a test. That's all. It's a thing. I think I gave the moshel to the to benching at the same thing. The Tana Gemore. That it says what do you call it? What's the Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha v'Yosef B'chol Shalom. Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha means B'nai Shalom will show favoritism to you. So the Malachim, the Malachim asked Malach HaShos, I think, asked the B'nai Shalom. He said, "Doch lo Yisa Panim," that you don't take favoritism, and there's another thing there. So how do you say the Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha, that I will show favoritism? He says, how can I not show favoritism? So I was mitzav and they go and they eat a kezayis or kebeya and they bench already. So therefore, I don't hear the kasha. This Yimakatei, they make brachas of atala. What are you talking about? The tension was not b'chayiv your brachas, it's a bracha of atala. So what are you telling me? So with this, I answer a whole bunch of things that the Gemara would says that a cotton could be misspelled, could bench for the father, for Gadol. So Taisus is the guy, she goes into different points with 2 Rabbanas, 1 Rabbanas, and you have to either share the Rabbanas, the whole business there, thing there. I asked the Kasha, there should be 3 Rabbanas. Why we should be 3 Rabbanas? Because you got the share the Rabbanan, the cotton is put in the Rabbanan, and also there's no alvas except with the Rabbanan. So you got 3 Rabbanas. Right? Alvas is not nothing guaranteed that you can do. I can bench for you. You can't bench for you. Till made such a law. So there's 3 Rabbanas. So where did that come in? So what's in the Gemara taught? So then the Gemara is something's missing. So I said that if I hold, I have to, from this Gemara, I wanted to tie in that really the Torah says, I don't require you to have any feeling of
full.
Not full, but I want feeling that you want to give me furacha. You don't feel hakos hatayv until you're full. I don't demand that from a person, that he should get to that madrege. But if you feel that, then I expect you to give me a thank you. In other words, if somehow you're makir that the zayis you ate is enough to give your life another 15 minutes, and for that you're giving me thanks, then you chuy me the raisa to give it to me. And that's the thing. So therefore, so we're not talking about the Rabbana Dikah, so it's not a bracha about Torah. That's what I'm saying. It's a bracha Yitaka to do it. But the Rabbanan came along and said, since a Yid could reach such a madrege, so then we'll make it a takana that every Yid has to do to train himself to get to that madrege, that he'll be able to say that I ate a kazayis, I have to bench because I feel makatei.
My benching is a bracha latala on a kazayis or not?
No, if you're benching without eating enough, so let's see, what do you eat a pachos b'kazayis in your bench? So it'll be a bracha latala.
If you eat only a kazayis,
yes, I'm saying, so what's the difference with kazayis? Kazayis is not the shear. The shear is v'chal v'savaita.
So I have to be feeling this level of karsa in order to bench, and otherwise I don't bench?
L'chayre, that's the way it should be with the raisa. But I'm telling you, it's not like that, because if I feel thankful that I Baruch Hashem I ate, so then I have to bench with the raisa.
And so when I am the Maisa benching, I have to feel that a karsa type? No, that's a
I'm going to tell you about mitzvahs. What are you going to tell you? You feel mitzvahs, any mitzvah, why are you picking on this one? No,
Fisher is saying that the Rabban said you train yourself.
Right.
Yeah. When I get there, fine. I think, but he's asking me a kashi. If I'm not, I'm supposed to about dollar.
Train yourself. That's all. No, that comes to train yourself. But if I'm not up to that level,
yes, you got to keep doing it. Yeah, but I'm just saying. But you're not. I'm not calling you bracha about dollar if you don't do that. That's still my training period. You know.
So what's Yaakov saying? He's saying if I fail this test drive, then what would be Yiddish?
Then I won't be makabel.
And what am I going to do? Then
I'll eat like I eat. I won't live maybe like I was, but I'm not going to say that I have to do only eat exactly what I need. I can't accept that.
You say it's too much for a human.
Too much, yeah. I want you to do it. Okay. And then he says a real funny, well, I mean, that's, first of all, it's strange in the first place. What you give me, I'm going to give you back. I don't need you. I gave you the first place, so what do I need you for? And I think, so what are you giving me? So this actually, I think, will be like this. We all understand that the Beniman gave us things and gave us to be Bali Chesed and stuff like that, and that there should be enough for everybody and whatever it is then. And in order to have Chesed, you have to have givers and takers. That we all understand. In the Beniman, but sometimes, it gets to give tzedakah, it becomes very hard. I don't know who's about, so who needs a tzedakah, who needs what I'm doing, and whatever it is then. So Beniman, wouldn't it be easier if you just give me 90% of the sahara you want to give me, and 10% you give it to the guys you feel good, and then they go from there. What do you want to give it to them? What do you want to make me the job for? What do you make me the shliach for? He says, no, I need it, because if this is going to be my way of life, I have to have a place, what's called yours, in other words, the yeshiva, a shul that I attach myself to, that they'll mechazik me, because I need chizuk. I don't know if I can do this on the thing over there. Now, why is the guy going to be mechazik me? If I become his big donor and I give him a lot of money, he's going to take care of me. So maybe y'all get close. So I should give him the money, not you should give him the money. It wouldn't help me if he gave him the money. Yeah. Anyway, he comes. I'm skipping the separate story because I really don't know what's pshat that. Okay. Anyway, he comes to Lavan, and he's going to stay with him, and he's going to move in with him. And and Lavan said to him, you're going to hang around here. I may as well pay you whatever it is. What do you want? I want your daughter. Okay, I want your daughter, Yachid. Okay, very nice. He says, great deal. I'd like to give it to you, and can he shake it on the street there? Why not? You have a nice yeah. He worked 7 years for her, and it was because he loved her. It was like Yom HaChodim. That doesn't make any sense. The more you love someone, the more impatient you are. So therefore, it should have felt like 50 years instead of 7 years. I said, you're looking at it the wrong way. We're looking at it as about type thing, then you're right. Then that anything you hold me back for. But let's say if I'm building something to last. So a guy is building this house, I don't want to say the Beis Hamidrash, because Beis Hamidrash we told what to do with it. But let's say a palace. I'm going to be the king, and I hope we're going to have a malchus for many years, for many doiras, and I want to build a palace that's going to be there. So the rooms, okay, we put on an architect, we get the right size rooms and stuff like that. But the dining room set to fit in there, the table, that should be a malchus sticker thing and stuff like that. I look around, I don't see it. Put in a couple of old benches there, tables, doesn't make a difference. It's not what I want yet. And I go shopping, and I go for 1 year, 2 years, and one year, 5 years down the line, I walk into a store and I say, that's the set we need for my dining room set, okay? And we buy it. We have a new simcha that I got the table, the chairs that are going to fit in that picture. Now we're going to look for the living room, now we're going to look for this thing. So the whole time that you're doing it, there's a pleasure and a simcha involved in that. Even though it's taking a long time before it becomes that full building. But that's not the hardest. The building itself is a thing there. And he was building a rochniistic marriage with Rachel to build Klal Yisrael for whatever his imaginations were, that it does, and the closest he got to it, or whatever it is there, was K'yom HaChodim. No, it was because it was all pleasurable and stuff like that. It wasn't like a type. Okay, now then comes the story, okay. So there's a bunch of midrashim over here. First of all, was Leah complacent with Lavan? Could be she was. I have no idea. It's totally in two midrashim. The Medrash Tanchumis says that all the gifts that Ya'akov sent to Rachel, Lavan gave to Leah. In other words, so therefore, as far as Leah was concerned, he was wooing her. So as far as she was concerned, she's marrying. So that's Pashut. So she was not complacent. The Medrash Rabbah says he was giving her mussar all the night. or complaining to her, you're a crook, the daughter of a crook, and whatever it is there and so on. Until she finally said to him, who said Ani Yesa b'charecha? Now exactly how she knew about that, I can't answer you. But I seem to know everything. Okay, so, and all of a sudden, that ended the conversation. So what does that answer? You're a crook, so I can be a crook to you? That doesn't make an answer. I think the pshat is like this. The reason that I cried all these years, supposedly, was he used to say, the oldest for the oldest, so that his layers could be to Esav, and Rachel was going to be to Yaakov, and that's what I was crying about all the time. You claim you're the Bechor, so then you're mine. So it's a shayla. Then you're mine to start with. So therefore, you have to say that's what she said to him. I'm yours. Okay, and he gave then he still wanted Rachel, so he makes another 7 years work, but he marries her a week later. Because that's ain't Alvin Simcha B'Simcha. So the Shavua and the Shiva, the Shavua Zois mean the first one, and the second one, two different. One is days and one is years. Okay. Okay, and he gave it. He switched off the Bilha was the older Shifra because he was putting on an act for them. So he gave Zilpa, which was the young, because it should look like that was Rachel's Shifra, and then he gave it to her. Okay. Anyway, we hear a thing, and I don't have clear exactly what it is, but I think there's a certain type of emotion that we have to go into. He loves Rachel over Leah. Vayar Hashem kisnei Leah. The Beisham saw that Leah was hated, right? Vayiftach eschach v'vrach lakor. Vatar Leah vatelet bein vatikra shmoi Reuven ki yomu akiro Hashem me'oni. Bobby saw my story. Ki ato yahavani ishi. Now my husband will love me. So what? And before what it was, he also loved me. So this is Shaykh in Charles Dickens. Okay, no, Shakespeare. No, who wrote Julius Caesar? Shakespeare, right? Okay. Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. So in there he has Brutus making a drasha, and the drasha is, I loved Caesar, but I loved Rome more. Is there such a thing possible? That's the kasha I think is over here. And that's basically what I think Leah felt. He loves me, but he loves Rachel more. So therefore, now that I have a son, he'll love me more than that. What did it say with the Benishim Surah? Kisnua Leah. That Snua is hated. That fact that I don't love you as much as the other guy is not a chasson in love, it's a chasson in hate. And that's the part they do. So if I don't have every friend as choshev as the other friend, then there's something I don't like about him. No, it's not the chat that I like him the same. If I like him the same, the one who is friendly with him is the same. Elavos, I like him less than the thing there. That's the portion that you have to know. That liking less means there's a success called hate.
You can't have something more in common with someone, like someone better?
I understand. I just tell you what it seems to say for me. I don't have it clear in my mind. I mean, I'm just trying to be an Adam Chaver, what you have to know. How much do I have to do? Do I have to give anyone? A lot of times things are gotten to because you keep giving someone, you're getting, so you get a higher level of something. But maybe the basic level is the same. In other words, why did I start with this guy in the first place? Because we reach a certain madrega that we have to be. You know, we have to have obviously soil. So what is he says? Well, you have to love everybody. But I don't love him. You know, they said the difference between the Yid and the Goy. A Goy loves Rebbe Yid. He hates Am Yisrael. And a Jew loves Am Yisrael, but he hates Rebbe Yid. That's the difference between a Yid and a Goy. Okay. So whatever pshat is, I'm saying there's something to think about in that Indian. And this Indian of people holding their daughters back and stuff like that, somehow it seems to be like loving, and I don't think we have to do loving stuff. If you have a 23-year-old daughter, don't hold her back till she's 29, and then we can't get married. And the second daughter is 27 already, because she also can't get married because my 29-year-old sister didn't get married yet, and someone else didn't get. Which unfortunately there are many families like that. And some even they don't let the boys get married. Or the boys. Okay. And then it goes on. She has three sins. Sydney gets the fourth son, and says, now she says by Yehuda that she says, Hashem. Now, what do you tell me? She told, and says, until Lawyer came along, nobody was moided to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And nobody said thank you. I mean, Avram didn't say thank you, Yitzchak didn't say thank you. And what are we talking about? Of course they said thank you. But thank you for what I deserve. Not chas, I don't even want to put the word deserve. What I need and stuff like that, that's no big deal. That everybody does. What happened here is the first time that we have a person, the first three kids, the chayr that they knew there's going to be 4 wives and 12 kids, each one's going to have 3 kids. So I have 3 kids as mine. That's my chaylik, that's what it should be, right? You gave me 4. That means someone's going to have less because of me, right? And I got that. I have you a thank you for that you put me on these things. That was it. You have a guy that makes a big business deal. He makes a lot of money. Somebody's lost that money. The Beniman doesn't make moving nechosim in the world. He just moves it from one to the other and gives it over to that. So because of that, what he's done is I took it from you and I gave it to him. So therefore, he's got it. So he's thanking you, but you lost it. So I'm thanking God for your loss. I mean, that's a terrible thing, man. I have to look with God is what he did for me. And that's the point that we do.
Why don't you thank Hashem? I have my first kid. I don't thank Hashem. It doesn't come at someone's expense. The Seidah doesn't come for having.
But right now, you can have Hashem 20 for what we care about, right? Why? Because they're not taken away from anybody. But her taking away by her getting 4, someone's going to have 2.
Why is I'm saying Seidah doesn't come on just for having your shir? It's an extra idea over having a child. That's what it is. It's not. I mean, saying the first one she would give Haidah, or this Haidah?
Yeah, the first 3 she thanked him like a normal thank you. Thanks for having a kid. I have a healthy baby. Baruch Hashem. I like playing games. And what a kid there, like nachas, whatever you give me. The 4th one is a matana that I don't deserve. Or the chayrish, it's not part of me. You're giving me something extra than I deserve. So the shayla is, what does that mean? You know, it means I'm happy with Yedam's loss. I'm not happy with Yedam's loss. That's not. I don't want to say that. You know, this is a lot of times when people ask you to do them favors, and you call them with to do this for me, this for that, me, whatever it is. So I always have to worry about that you're not a chavla achayim and stuff like that. No, let's say for school. You want to go call they should get into that school. Yeah, but so if they're going to take me above the normal, okay, that's fine. I'm asking you to do me a favor. But you're asking me take mine and don't take Yenim's, that's a chavla chayim. I can't ask that. And stuff like that. So I'm saying, so this is the way la chavla chayim. But it's really not chavla chayim because it was never anybody's that it was. So that's the time. Okay. There's a way of figuring out the months of how the kids were born. You remember, all 11 children were born in 7 years. So 11 children born in 7 years, even though you're doing with four wives, that's true, but no one, until Yehuda was finished being born, you didn't know, no one else started yet. So now we're really knocking off money. So those were 40 months. That's 3 years plus. And so I'm saying, so it has to be to be able to work it out that she didn't wait till the child was born. In other words, when Rachel gave over Bilhah to Yaakov, she gave him when she saw that she was pregnant with Yehuda, not that she gave birth to Yehuda. So like it's only 3 months difference. When she saw that she's going to have another baby, she already said take her. So therefore Yehuda is only going to be 3 months older than Don. And Don is going to be 10 months older than what he called, but Naphtali is only going to be 3 months older than God. And many things. And Osha's only whatever. And that way you can get them all in. You see that? That's what also answers later on when Yosef go down to Mitzrayim, and Yosef recognizes his brothers, and he says, why? Because they didn't recognize him because he went down without a beard, and now he had a beard, right? So what do you call it? He's younger, but Zvulun is only 3 months older than him. So like, why would he have? He also didn't have a beard. So how do you recognize Zvulun? You know, the idea is, first of all, maybe if you know the guy's Zvulun, then maybe you know. But meaning, he's hanging around with them. It must be him. Him, they didn't expect them all, like, you know, but there are other brothers and there's another guy there, so it must be so. Okay. Now, obviously, there's a tremendous love between the sisters. I guess maybe you say in every sibling rivalry, it's a tremendous love and a tremendous hate, whatever, it's a love-hate relationship. In other words, each one you feel a tiny, you're getting too much, you take your mind, and at the same time, what will one do for the other? Rachel gave it she's not to embarrass her, and she was misbaled to have a girl, not the girl. Now the shayla on this one is halachically, I can tell you my opinion. I mean, they don't agree. In England, they were masking. So again, I only tell you this. You're dealing. This is a thing which happens now quite often called. What do you call it? Motherhood? Surrogate motherhood. Surrogate motherhood is where they implant eggs of somebody into a person. And the person their eggs are no good, so you get eggs from somebody, and what do you call it? And there's been questions in the courts where the birth mother who wants to keep the baby, if she's able to keep the baby, if it's her baby and not our baby, that's in American law. The shayla is who's the mother. Okay. In Eretz Yisrael, they paskin that the egg mother is the mother. Okay? There's no tshuvas on it. There's no tshuvas on it. If you take a look in the Targum Yonason, it says the birth mother is the mother. And the thing Dalton. Now, when I said this to them, I was there once and it had to do with Gavus, and I went to Rabbi Weiner, and Rabbi Weiner was, this shayla was bothering him, and he asked it about Yoshev, and he said, please, the egg mother. He asked it to have Karelitz, egg mother. Okay, good. Both said egg mother. So I got to the Bezdin of Rabbi Karelitz, and he asked him, is there any chuvas on it? No, there's only a kol koira. I said, if that says only a kol koira, I said, what do you do with Targum Yonason? So you know what they told me? Who's Targum Yonason? I said, what do you mean, who's Targum Yonason? He's in the Chumash, right? Yeah, but Targum Yonason, not in Gemara. The Gemara says Targum Yonason only wrote for Tanakh, didn't write for Chumash. So where did you get this for Chumash? Okay, so you have to have, for the first ones they found, they'd have all the things we found, this proof and that proof and that proof, and it was Targum, and then otherwise it's some kind of Tom, Dick, and Harry in the Middle Ages over there. So it doesn't matter, so we don't have to listen to him. So that was the thing. Okay, so I said, okay, I hear that. But what do you do with the python? What do you do with him? And that Rashi quotes the python already. And Rashi quotes him that Rachel was crying. That why? Because if Yaakov divorces her, Esav will marry her. So she was crying, and that the python in Rosh Hashanah, the first Rosh Hashanah, quotes it. And then that payat, the same payat that Rashi says, from him you see there's such a thing. How do you know he did? Where do you think my medrash this? Bring me a python. Big deal. What is that guy knows? He has Kabbalah, whatever it is what he does. The Rashi believes him. And then he says, Neferish, God switched the babies. So therefore he says, Neferish, he goes there. So this helped for Aaron Troy in England. That what he called it, the python, what he called it. But they all were the same. Who is talking the Anderson? That didn't face and confuse any. But the fact that the python, that seems the same. So they didn't. They also stopped them, but they didn't give me an answer about Yosef or Mr. Gerald. The Bezdin's not said, but they showed me the Kol Korah. Kol Korah was them two with from Bnei Brak that was Nifter. Vosner, yeah, it was the third signature, that they shouldn't do it. I said, the Mach of Klal Yisrael, because we got the egg and they put it, let's say, into the wife, because the wife doesn't want to show she has no kids, right? So she's going to have a kid. And she's not going to get Megaya her if she's a shiksa or whatever they think over there. So you have Goyim and Klal Yisrael. She's not going to tell anybody it's not my kid, because obviously that was the whole idea, was to show that I have kids. So you mach of Klal Yisrael, the birth mother, you're not. Because birth mother, we all know who gave birth, so we know that she's the mother. That's all. And if you'd learned that way, that it was a switch, then you see it works even for the genetics. Because it says later on we're going to have that Teitze Dina Bas Leah, what he calls is, what is a Dina Bas Leah? Because she's the Yitzanis, so she also went out. So in other words, you're telling me that she's not the egg mother, she's only the, what do you call it, mother, and Alpha Pk, she has the midas of the birth mother. So okay, so you see, so I'm saying, so again, but you got to go with the Targum Yanis, and it's your thing over there.
With DNA midas, or they were learned from your environment?
I'm sorry?
Some midas you learn from your environment. So who said it's a DNA midah? Maybe it's a, she saw her mother going with that midah. So
okay, I somehow, I don't think it has to be put on the mother then, so put on anybody else you saw. You think that's for sure that she did nothing wrong. I mean, what it means your son is, that also doesn't make sense. Okay. And the Ma'aser VaYelech Reuven, and the thing that I think maybe next week we'll talk about. That's the, in other words, why did VaYelech Reuven, why did he make the mistake that about Yaakov? How come Yaakov would do what he did to put the bed into Bilhah's stead? So that's what he called, because obviously he knew, besides the fact of one son, of Reuven, he got a big mouth. He got 6 sons. One of them is going to be upset with what you're doing. I mean, what are you doing? Why are you upsetting your kid for? You know, so we'll talk about that. Good Shabbos, everybody.